Evening, everybody. Everyday KT 204. Tonight, we're talking about weddings. Why? Because my friend just got married on Friday, and I figured might as well cover this. I think I may have covered it earlier on, very early on in the Everyday KT cycle, but you know what? I'm a lot better at this now than I was then, so I'm actually going to get into the nuts and bolts. So, kilted wedding etiquette. Why even bring it up? So first and foremost, as all of you know, or will know soon, a guy in a kilt, especially full formal Prince Charlie, is going to get a ton of attention. An inordinate amount of attention. When I went to this wedding on Friday, I walked in. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have an outdoor wedding. It was pouring cats and dogs, so we were all under the tent. I walked in and it sounded like somebody turned the volume knob down just a couple of ticks until I sat down. So lots and lots of attention. So when you're going to go to a wedding, either it is a kilted wedding where there's a significant number of people wearing kilts. So in this case, it doesn't matter. Kilted wedding, fine. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the occasion where you are the only one in a kilt. And I'm going to address a lot of worst case scenarios in here. This is not everything's wonderful, happy, joy, life is fantastic. This is a make sure you don't do these things so you don't piss off people or get in trouble or both or worse. So this is a very much a what not to do at a kilted wedding. At a wedding when you're the guy or the only guy or girl, you're the only one in a kilt. So pay attention if you happen to be the only one there. Mark Ball is asking, oh, kilted wedding in December, Mark. The wedding's going to be awesome. The reception, holy crap. Alrighty, so, kilted wedding. You're the only one kilted at this wedding. First and foremost, no matter what, come hell or high water, make sure the bride is cool with you having a kilt. It will take a ton of attention away from her throughout the evening at various points for one reason or another, mostly because you have a kilt on. Make sure she is okay with you having a kilt. The other thing is if you have the entire full formal kilt set, thank you. If you have the full formal, you have the Prince Charlie with everything, there is a very significant chance that your outfit costs more than the bride's gown. So, again, make sure she is cool with you wearing your formal kilt. First. Second, make sure her mom and dad or whoever is coming to represent her, walk her down the aisle, whatever shenanigans, whatever you have going on, make sure those two people are also okay with you having a kilt because you are taking attention away from their little girl. Big problem, humongous faux pas, insane screw up if you show up and they are pissed at you because you have the kilt on and you're taking attention away from her day. Good idea. Talk to the groom ahead of time as well for the exact same reasons. You don't want the groom pissed at you at his wedding, taking attention from his bride. Huge problems. Okay, so what you wear, that's up to you. What do you have? What you have is fine. Whatever you can afford. If you only have a kilt, dress it up. If you have the full kit, go for it. Shenanigans, yeah. Gotta be fairy and just posted shenanigans, yeah. So we'll get to the shenanigans later. Make sure that whatever you have, it doesn't matter what you have as far as your quote-unquote formal kilt attire goes. Just dress it up. If you only have a kilt, you don't have the gillies, you don't have the sews, none of that mess, that's fine. The very first wedding I went to in a kilt, I literally had a kilt, a belt, and sporran. That's it. White button-down shirt, ironed. Decent pair of shoes, and just whatever you feel comfortable with, depending on the wedding. If it's one of those where everybody's formal as hell, well, then you do your best. If it's one where it's very, very casual, then you have less to worry about. But once you've cleared all of the everything with the people in the wedding, do your best to dress it up as best you can. Like I said, kilting can get really damn expensive very, very quickly. And most folks don't have that kind of cash kicking around. I know I didn't, and I still don't. Most of the stuff that I've got, I either traded for, worked for, or it's a one-off that someone asked me to test for them. So make sure that you dress it up as best you can. I've done several videos on how to dress up a kilt. It's not that difficult to do. I'm guessing that most of you have the clothes in your closet already. If not, you can go to Walmart and spend $10 and get a white button-down t-shirt that you chuck the next day. Totally fine. All right, so we've covered who to talk to ahead of time. We've covered how to dress it up. The next couple of parts are of extreme importance. So, knowing that you're going to get a ton of attention, do not get completely hammered at the reception. Because you've already got the attention, you don't want to make an ass of yourself in front of all of these other people, and you don't want to wind up falling on your ass, showing the world what you've got going on under your kilt. What you wear under your kilt is completely your business. Whomever you show it to is also your business and your decision. Inadvertently flashing the entire bridal party because you had way too much to drink, bad idea. Showing up pre-gaming, probably not in your best interest. The other thing, and I made this mistake myself, if you're going to drink, make sure you do it properly. Meaning, if you're going to drink beer, you start with beer, you end with beer, drinking beer. If you're going to drink hard liquor, the old adage, beer before liquor, you're in the clear, liquor before beer. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, you've never been sicker. Yesterday kicked my ass because of that exact thing. I tried, I was drinking beer. I didn't have that many. Groom wanted some scotch. Oops. Guess what? Yesterday, my tummy, I couldn't hold down food for like 5-10 hours. I think I got my first solid food at 5 o'clock because my stomach was upset with me because I didn't take care of it. I wasn't doing it properly. Anyway, what does that mean? That means be cognizant of your surroundings, who you're with, what you're doing, and most effectively, how much you are enjoying. Not saying don't have a hell of a good time, because a guy in a kilt at a reception, it can be a hell of a good time. That being said, you just want to make sure that you don't screw yourself. Just because you got approval from all the people ahead of time, and you got, you found a way to dress up your kilt, if you wind up being that drunk, that everybody has one at their weddings. If you become that drunk at the wedding, you're never going to hear the end of it. Because nowadays, everybody's got Facebook, YouTube, whatever, videos. You don't want to do that. Well, it's not a permission, it's just a making sure. Because I have had many weddings where they're like, no, it's there for it's their event. It's their wedding. If that was requested not to wear a kilt to at least one wedding that I've been to, strictly because of that. Granted, it might be a little self-serving on the bride and groom's part, but you know what? It's their day. So if you're going to go, have the common decency to respect their wishes. So back to the reception. The reception always is the tough part. The other part with receptions is if you are single and you go to the reception, all I'm going to say is this. Make sure you don't do anything stupid. It happens at every reception. Somebody does something dumb with someone or whatever. I'm not going to get into it. We've all seen The Wedding Singer. We've all seen all kinds of other wedding movies. We all have friends and family who have done stupid things at receptions. Do your best not to be that person. Why am I saying all of these things? Because weddings are crazy. Weddings are fun, and everybody's there to have a good time. But then you have the consequences of stupidness or asshattery that may happen at the reception. You have to deal with the next day, the next week, the next month, whatever that time frame might be. And if you are the only one in your area who has a kilt on, that's not going to get away from you. They've got video of you dancing up on the pole that's holding the tent up or whatever, and that gets out, everybody's going to know, oh, look, it's a drunk kilt guy. Gotta be you want to be careful of that. Now, if you don't care, that's fine. But just remember that things don't go away on the internet. So that's the bulk of the things you just want to keep aware of for weddings when you're wearing a kilt. 99% of it has to do with respect of the bride and groom. Just making sure that whatever that you're not taking away from their time, their moment, their night or day, whichever the case may be. But that you also are able to have a fantastic time without crossing whatever line might be there. You don't want to be the drunkest person there. You do not want to be the craziest person there, unless that's your goal. Now, that being said, there are occasions where, swing for the fences. Go for it. Have a good time. Like I said, these are all just suggestions, warnings, or admonitions, if you will. And I'm going to stop talking, trying to be your dad, and let's have some shenanigans. So, mind you, the shenanigans at weddings can be amazing. God only knows. There are so much fun to be had at wedding receptions. You just got to be sure that all the shenanigans are exactly that. They're wedding shenanigans. And it's not going to cause you trouble down the road. Now, Farland, for those of you, Farland, he's asking how my commitment to exercise has gone, and I will painfully admit that it hasn't. It hasn't. Not anywhere near where it needs to be. So, can somebody chuck me a Kiltology? I'll just give you some of this. Yeah, there's lots of gremlins, Dave. Probably stick with volume 2. I'm going to guess. Oh, Mark. Volume 1. Kiltology. It's on Amazon. So, booyah. Come on, give me something good. So, we're talking about weddings. Weddings are one of the most joyous, at least during the occasion, joyous occasions that someone has. It is awesome, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a very amazing event for just about everybody involved most of the time. Brings us to Kiltology number 160, volume 1. It's up on Amazon. Find joy in everything you do, no matter how mundane, difficult, or a pain in the ass it might be. A life without joy is no fun at all. Just be careful. Joy tends to get a little randy when in the company of kilties. Also watch your flask. She loves a good eyeless single malt. So how does that apply to today? Simple. Have a good time. Do amazing things. Do great things. Enjoy yourself. Go out there and try to be as happy as you can. Just be careful, because that happiness sometimes can get a little out of control and bite you in the ass in the end. And with that, I will let you go. It's a Sunday night. We've all got work, or a lot of us have work tomorrow. And for those of you who do, I hope you have a fantastic morning. I'll try to do something in the morning. But regardless, everybody have a good time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Be strong. Put a kilt on.